Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday morning. We are getting ready for the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. And I tell you, it's gonna be a good super wild card Sunday. Well, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We have amazing games coming up. We have rematches. We have spectacular offenses going up against each other. It is going to be a great super wild card Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You've got the Rams going into Carolina trying to avenge their loss from earlier this year. You have the Packers going into Soldier Field who are trying to avenge their loss on a failed recovered onside kick. You have the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen going into Jacksonville and facing the rising Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence. It is going to be a great weekend. It really is. And I am looking I am looking forward to it so much. So much. It is going to be so much fun. It really is. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a great weekend. You've got the Broncos that are on a bye. You got the Seattle Seahawks that are on a bye. It is going to be such a great time this weekend. And again, everybody asked me, what is the game you were most looking forward to watching? I'll tell you right now, it's the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. As a Chiefs fan, go win a Super Bowl. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Let's have a good week. Yes, absolutely. See, right? The Broncos are planning to practice on Friday and Saturday, take Sunday off, and go at it fully on Monday. But I tell you, man, that Bills-Jaguars game is going to be great. It is absolutely going to be great. Now, I do worry about the Bills' defense. Will they be able to stop the Jaguars' offense? That's why it's going to be great. You have two dynamic offenses going up against each other. And like I said, you got the rematch with the Panthers and the Rams, the Packers and the Bears. You've got the Chargers and a strong defense going up year two, quarter Drake May. You got the number one defense, the Houston Texans, going up against old man time, Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be great. It is going to be a great, great weekend to watch these games. And I'm really looking forward to it. I get it. I'm a Broncos fan. I don't got to worry about it this week. You know, I get a week off of not having to stress about my team. Thank you for that follow. I greatly appreciate that. But then I got to figure out, okay, who are the Broncos going to play next week? Two good offenses, one bad defense, and one top 10 defense. Absolutely. I was hoping it was Chiefs versus Denver in the AFC Championship game. Eric, that would have been a good game. Mahomes versus Knicks, great game. You had that earlier this year. We didn't have it on Christmas. You think we can win the Super Bowl? If we get past the divisional rounds, everything's open for us. Everything. Morgan, go Jags. Absolutely, Morgan. I love Trevor Lawrence. I've not been shy about that. Bryce, you know that. I have not been shy about rooting for Trevor Lawrence. I have not been shy about rooting for Liam Cohen. You know I am a big Trevor Lawrence fan. And
trying to get a hold of him, aren't you?
What's that, my brother?
I've been trying to get on for the last few days. You've been busy.
I know. I've been busy, brother.
Everyone's been good, hopping on fast.
Yeah, I know. And that's what's great. That's what's great because we're building a community. We're building a place that you can go where you know you're going to talk to an unbiased creator. And that's what I want this channel to be. And I will keep saying it. I want this channel to be completely unbiased. This is an NFL channel first, Bronco channel second. But before we get into our major conversation, I need to shout out a big thank you to all of you, not only on this app, but on the Red app. I have over 13,000 followers on this app, and I hit the 1,000 mark on the Red app today. Thank you guys so much for helping this channel grow. ZB, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate that. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel wouldn't be where it is. I thank you guys so much. You guys are so awesome.
Did you see Matt Eberflus got fired?
I told you that was going to happen. I told you Eberflus was going to get fired. Now, here's the deal. Now that Eberflus is fired, where are the Cowboys going to go? All right, so Brian Schottenheimer is going to go into year 2 as a head coach. You just fired your DC. You have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. A lot of problems in that defensive backfield for the Dallas Cowboys. Do we look at Jonathan Gannon?
I'm going to go get Raheem from the Falcons.
I was going to say Raheem Morris too, but he's about to interview for the, I believe, the Titans job.
No, I don't think he's going to take that, though.
You know what? Here's the deal about the Titans. Everybody wants to make jokes about the Jets and the Titans, but let's step back real quick and think of yourself as a head coach going into these two teams. The Titans have a rookie quarterback, Cam Ward, going into year 2. We saw what happened with the year 2 quarterbacks this year with Bo Nix and Caleb Williams. Both are in the playoffs. Both won their division. One is the 1 seed. One is the 2 seed. So you got to think you're going into the Titans knowing you have a young quarterback on a rookie deal. But let's look at the Jets. And everybody makes fun of the Jets, and I get it. It's well-deserved. Their owner has really messed up that team. But when you look at that team, and if you want to be a coordinator there, if Aaron Glenn wants to, shake things up if he stays the head coach, you have 5 draft picks in the first 2 rounds this year and 5 draft picks in the first 2 rounds next year. So if you can bring in good, pieces to that coaching staff, with all that draft capital, that would be a really good place to go and be a coordinator. Now let's look at Dallas, right? Everybody makes fun of Dallas because of Jerry Jones, and well-deserved. But that team is turning around. That offense was one of the best. I think they finished number 3 in offense in the NFL this year. You're going to be bringing back Javonte Williams. You're going to be bringing back George Pickens. You got Dak Prescott, who played great this year. I mean, absolutely great. And now they need a defensive coordinator, and you've got the capital to do it. You got the draft picks. Hey, Devin, I'm doing all right, brother. You got to remember, you got those 2 first-round draft picks for Micah Parsons.
Now, do they still have enough draft capital, though, to keep all that offense? Or not draft capital. Do they have enough money to keep that offense?
Yes, they do. They do. I get it. Hey, Pools, when I get an opening, Pools, I will let you in, my brother.
It's not that long, though, because when you're giving all your money to Dak.
Well, here's the deal, though. And this is what I try to teach everybody. It's called cap manipulation, and it's legal. Cap manipulation.
Going to do that.
All you got to do. Let me pull up his cap real quick, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to do.
Why you doing it on church? My only thing is with Dallas.
What's the veteran minimum?
It's like when if they ever draft.
Hold on, guys. One at a time.
This is what I was saying. This they 4th in 4 years. I mean, is it gonna be the same thing next year? They just keep switching defensive coordinators every year.
That's because their defense is not getting any better. Last year it was that good. This year it got worse.
And this year because they didn't have the pieces to be good.
Okay, so here's your numbers. Right now, going into 2026, the Dallas Cowboys are $22 million over the cap. They're going to be carrying $24 million in dead cap. That means absolutely nothing, and I will explain. Dak Prescott got a cap hit of $74 million next year. I can tell you right now, before the new league year starts on March 12th, Dak Prescott's cap hit will most likely be around the $30 million mark. Now, he's going to make the full $74 million. Don't get me wrong there. But only about $30 million is going to go against the cap. So you take that other $44 million, you add it back to your cap. Now you're $22 million in the plus range. Then you look at CeeDee Lamb, who's making $38.6 million. He's not going to make $38.6 million against the cap. You can most likely cut that in half, get the other in a bonus. So now you just added $19 million. Trey Smith, $27 million. He ain't going to get that against the cap. They're going to cut that probably down to $15. So I can right now just make the Dallas Cowboys $70 million in cap space. Just by reworking those 3 guys and turning a lot of their cap space into bonuses, which is 100% legal. Now
Jerry Jones has always had money, though. He's not doing anything with it.
Right. I understand. Jerry Jones isn't doing anything with it.
What is this team doing?
Well,
why are we not progressing?
The reason why, and again, you had a year 1 rookie quarterback or rookie head coach who brought in a guy that he thought was going to help with the defense, and he didn't. So now you let him go, and now you're looking for somebody who can come in and really shake that defense up.
Yeah, they need it. No, the Cowboys need it.
And I think they can do that. I really do. You bring in Raheem Morris. You could bring in Jonathan Gannon. So there is hope for the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong. There is hope for the Cowboys. It's as long as Jerry and Baby Schottenheimer do what's right.
I think they have a pretty good chance at winning the NFC East next year.
All right, Gleeman, I am hearing that Aaron Rodgers could be coming back as the Steelers quarterback next year. That is what I'm hearing. That is what I'm hearing. Dak thinks he's the new Alex. All right, so here we go, Big Earn, right? Big Earn 1986. About Dak Prescott. After next year, you can cut Dak Prescott and save a ton of money. And why would the Cowboys do that? Well, you can either trade him and get draft capital, or you can outright cut him. Because there's one quarterback that's going into the draft in 2027 that everybody wants to go to the Dallas Cowboys, and his name happens to be Arch Manning. Now, before anybody says that Arch Manning is a bum, hold on, before you guys say he's a bust, he's this, he's that, at the end of this year, Arch Manning really turned it around. And by getting another year in Texas as a starter, will absolutely improve him. So let's hold off on that the whole Arch Manning is a bust. And we know because of Archie Manning, his grandfather, he does not want him to go to the Saints. He does not want him to go to the Colts. He does not want him going to the Giants. He wants him going to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Saints probably won't draft him because they're going to go with Tyler Shuck next year, which I think is a great move. The Giants have Jackson Dart. Great move. Now the Colts. Riley Leonard played really, really good. We have to wait and see what they're going to do with Indiana Jones. Are they going to give him a big contract? Or are they going to go, hey, we're going to give you a one-year deal coming off this injury and see what you can do? Or are they going to go, guess what? There's free agency. We're rocking with Riley Leonard, and we just saved a ton of cap space.
Armchair, is Daniel Jones on this contract that he was on with the Colts this year? Was that a one-year deal, and he's just a free agent after this year unless they decide to do a long-term deal?
Who? Indiana Jones?
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was a one-year deal. That was it. He's a free agent at the end of this year. Or he's a free agent, yeah. As soon as the Super Bowl's over, he's a free agent.
What would you do, Armchair? Would you bring him back, or would you just let him walk?
I'd let him walk because I'm not paying him a 4-year, $180 million deal.
And then you got Riley Leonard who's on a rookie contract, and you can build pieces around him.
Absolutely.
You got good receivers and a running back.
Another question. I have two questions. You think Max Crosby will go somewhere else?
I hope he does.
All right, that's your first question. What's your second?
My second one, where do you think Vance Joseph will be a head coach at?
Who is a head coach?
Vance Joseph.
All right, here we go. So first question, will Max Crosby walk? It looks like the writing on the wall that he will be getting traded. And that contract isn't actually that bad to trade. Vance Joseph right now is going to be interviewing for the Tennessee job, I believe also the Falcons job, and possibly the Browns job. Will Vance Joseph walk? Yeah, I do think so, especially with Tennessee. Like I said, you have a year 2 quarterback, a rookie deal. You have cap space. Let me see how much cap space they have next year. The Titans have $113 million in cap space next year.
I think I seen something about him with the Raiders as well.
I doubt he would go to the Raiders because I don't think he would want to do that to Sean Payton as an in-division rivalry. When you look, and then again, you'll be going in with a rookie quarterback that you're going to have to get the right offense coordinator because Vance Joseph is a defensive guy. So going into the Raiders, you're going to have a rookie quarterback. Going into the Titans, you're going to have a quarterback that's already played a full year in the NFL, and getting a coordinator in that situation is a lot easier.
Right. That's where it's looking towards, huh?
Jordan, I would say offensive minded unless you could go get Stefanski as your offensive coordinator. Right? If Vance Joseph takes the Titans job, go get Stefanski, that'd be great.
So this is like I heard something about the Georgia coach.
The Georgia coach might be interviewing for the Falcons job. We don't know. We don't know.
I heard something. He's sick of the college.
I don't. Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh would go after Daniel Jones again. You have Will Howard, a year 2 quarterback. I don't know if he's your guy. I don't know if Rodgers is coming back. I think when it comes with Rodgers, it's based on how far they go in the playoffs, right? If they're one and done, does Rodgers really want to come back? Right? He said after the game that he loves it in Pittsburgh. He loves the environment. He loves the coach. Now, that could just be player talk. But when you looked at him, you could tell he got very irritated when they asked him if he's coming back next year. He got very, very irritated. What's up, Dirk? And he doesn't want that question asked. He's right now focused on the playoffs. So let's say they beat the Texans. Okay, let's just throw that hypothetical out there. And you get to the divisional round. Or possibly the AFC Championship, either one, he would most likely want to come back to see if he can go further. First he's got to see if his body can handle it. And then on top of that, what are the Steelers going to do next year, right? What are they going to do? You've got to get wide receivers. DK Metcalf can't be the only wide receiver there. And the Steelers are going into next year with $65.4 million. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think Kirby Smart's leaving Georgia either, but there's a lot of variables in this. I mean, you just got knocked out of the college football playoffs. This is a major step going into the NFL. Could he want to do that? Possibly. I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say yes, because money talks in the NFL, and the Falcons can pay him a lot more than Georgia can pay him. Do I think Stefanski would be good with the Raiders? Yes, I do. He's an offensive-minded coach. He could fix that offensive line, right? So everybody's like, oh, well, the Raiders are going to go get Mendoza out of Indiana. Great. But if you do not fix the guard position and the center position on that offensive line, your quarterback is going to be the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Joe Burrow is staying with Cincinnati. I've had long talks with people about that. He ain't going nowhere. The only way Burrow walks, and it would be really hard because he controls everything, would be if some team came in with a king ransom of a trade. It would be more than the Deshaun Watson trade. Should the Steelers get Justin Jefferson? I doubt they will. But, I mean, sad people try to discredit Myles Garrett for historic year. No, but Myles Garrett played great. I think it's awesome he got the record. I love when records are broken. We had a couple records broken this year. Myles Garrett's sack record. What's his name? Cam Little for the Jaguars. The longest field goal, and I think the longest outdoor field goal in NFL history was done this year. And he had the longest field goal in the preseason of 70 yards. Those are great milestones for the NFL. Now, I did read something interesting this morning, and I'm going to have to agree with it. We now have kickers that 60-plus yard field goals are a cakewalk to them, right? But with this kickoff rule, and this was the major thing I had a problem with the kickoff rule, I don't care how they line up. I don't care about the landing zone. I care about a touchback. I do not like that the ball is placed on the 35-yard line on a touchback. We need to move it back to the 25-yard line.
No, they need to move back to the 20-yard line like they did old school way.
It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen because the NFL wants yards. The NFL wants points.
They want more scoring on the league.
They want it to be interesting.
Exactly. So moving the ball to the 35-yard line, we know right now that you only need to get 15 to 20 yards as an offense at the end of the game to kick a game-winning field goal. Move it back to the 25-yard line. Keep everything else you got. Again, they're also going to be talking about changing the onside kick rules this year, which I absolutely agree with getting rid of it and turning it into a 4th down and 15. I absolutely love that idea. I think the onside kick they've absolutely ruined it by making it where you can't line up everybody on one side, where you have to announce it. You can't do a trick onside kick. Get rid of it. It is a play that is hardly ever recovered. It is an absolutely horrible play in the NFL. And it's a joke.
Dalton Schultz break the NFL record for most receptions to a tight end
You
this year.
want them to be able to have 4th and 14?
4th and 15. I like that. 4th and 15. I actually wanted it to be 4th and 20 at the 40-yard line. But they want to go 4th and 15. And another thing, this is another thing that I think the NFL needs to get rid of, and I'm going to keep saying it. Get rid of ties. I'm tired of there being ties in the NFL. You cannot tie in college. You should not be able to tie in the NFL.
I think that rule would get changed very easily.
I agree, all videos. That one will.
What's up, Apostle? I think we need to turn it into, and this is how I would do it, if you guys will allow me for a minute. This is how the overtime should work. You get the ball at the 50-yard line. Team A starts, right? You got Team A, Team B. You get the ball at the 50. You score a field goal or a touchdown. Team B gets the ball at the 50. They got to tie it up or go for 2 for the win. If you tie it up at the end of the first overtime, well, guess what? In the second overtime, you're still at the 50, but Team B goes first, and then Team A goes, and you keep doing that until somebody wins the game. Get rid of ties. It would make it more interesting. It would make it more competitive, and it would alleviate so many problems when it comes to seeding, when it comes to playoffs, when it comes to common opponents. Just start at the 50. If you score a touchdown, the second team gets the ball at the 50. If they score a touchdown, we start again. You kick a field goal, and the second team scores a touchdown, game over. But keep it like that. No more ties. Because my wife asked me, she's like, well, what happens if there's a tie in the playoffs? I'm like, there can't be a tie in the playoffs. It's not allowed. She's like, well, then why can we have a tie in the regular season? I'm like, welcome to the NFL. You can't tie in the playoffs, but you can tie in the regular season. Get rid of it. 100% get rid of it. Get rid of the onside kick. Turn it into a 4th down and 20, 4th down and 15. I don't care. Turn the touchback to the 25-yard line. I don't want to give them the 20 because they'll whine, moan, and complain. So I got to give them something. So I'll give them the 25. They will never do the 20 again because the NFL wants points. They want yards. D, when I get an opening, brother, I will 100% allow you in.
Why don't they just bring the old onside kick back and keep it at
Player safety. 100% it's player safety because of concussions and having all 10 guys on one side.
I see.
All right, D, send your request, brother. I got an opening.
What's driving me nuts about the onside kick is that players can get hurt, especially when it happens to Dobbs.
Well, it's the onside kick. The reason why the onside kick is there is
what do you hold on real quick, D? I gotta answer this question. What do you mean you're not allowed up because you're YT? What does that mean?
What is
YT is the ladder.
Gotcha.
You're not what? Because you're what? Shut up, dude. Fuck you.
No, dude, I allow everybody up as long as we keep it. As long as you're over 18. All right, thanks. Still standing, man. I love that. I love people that come in and do stuff like that. And it's funny, it's harmless, and it's great. I love it. I love
I
it.
don't know. Hey, lately, Armchair, we've been getting some dudes that just want to come in
And cause problems. I know, but that was fun. That was fun.
But I was going to tell you, the reason why, number one, if they really wanted to change this, when they do the onside, even like I would keep the onside, and I would tell you why I would keep the onside. Because this is what I would tell my kickers and kicking an onside kick. You know how they try to do a little pretty, bounce it off the ground and do all that and make it. You know what I would do, and I used to do this with my high school teams when we did onside kicks. I made my kicker kick the ball as hard as he could, a line drive shot at the first line of guys. So that ball hit him so hard that it bounced off of him and bounced right back to us. And it worked 85% of the time. We rated this. And we clocked this thing. And so what it is I think that coaches, did you hear me out on this? I think coaches need to adapt their thinking. Get rid of the cute kick. And you kick that damn ball a line drive at that front line and watch that ball bounce off that guy 85% of the time, you're getting that ball back.
All right, I agree, D. I agree, but you said it was in high school. Now let me be the return team specialist for, against your onside kick, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to see you in the game go, he's kicking the ball at this guy to bounce back to him. You're kicking it as hard as you can, right?
Yep.
This is what I tell my guys. As soon as you see that, once that ball comes to you, move out of the way. Because the ball's going to be kicked so hard, it's going right out of bounds. I get the ball and the penalty yardage.
And so then Armchair, you know what happens then when that element of surprise, like with you, now that I know you're going to tell you guys to do that, now can I do that pretty kick? Because you don't know whether I'm going to line drive it or do that pretty kick.
Exactly. But here's the thing, though. You know, you can, because I played return special teams. Unfortunately, I did not like it, but I played it. We had a call that when there was an onside kick, we would make a call of, I was on the front line, and if we saw that it was a pretty high kick or a bounce kick, we had a call like bounce. If we saw that he was going to line drive it, it was back. Now, I will tell you this, D. I don't know if you've ever done it. I have recovered an onside kick. That is one of the most painful things to do in the NFL, or in football in general, I should say. I recovered an onside kick.
Armchair. I'm a speed guy. You never put me on the front line.
I was on the front line, and I recovered one onside kick in my life, and that's painful.
That's my point.
What you're saying, D, is there's no element of surprise in the NFL no more because you got to let the other team know.
That's the problem right there. See, right? You're 100% correct.
Right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have another suggestion for the onside kick. If you do a fail catch that everybody lines up and as you could, but it has to be before the 20-yard line, like at the 40-yard line, you kick it.
Yeah, you can't catch it.
Well, okay, so hold on before we go in on get this. There is actually already in the NFL a fair catch rule on the kickoff and onside kick.
On an onside kick?
And on a kickoff.
If you kick an onside kick right, there's no way you're fair catching.
David, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Let me explain. Hold on. Let me explain. It's a very rarely used rule, but there is a rule on an onside kick.
What do you do?
And hold on, I'm going to explain because there's parts to this rule. It's called a no time free kick. You could do it on an onside kick and you could do it on a kickoff.
They just come up with anything. What am I hearing right now? You can fair catch an onside kick?
Yes.
What am I hearing? When did this happen?
This rule has been in the NFL for a long time, but it is very rarely used. It was actually used last year against the Denver Broncos and caused us to lose the game.
a fair catch on an onside kick.
It's not only I said onside and regular kickoff. It's called a fair catch free kick. And what happens is if the ball does not touch the ground, right? A lot of people like on an onside kick will sometimes kick it up in the air. If it does not touch the ground, you can fair catch it where all the fair catch rules now apply. If you get it, you now have the option of a free kick. What that means is you are lined up for a field goal with no defense against you.
Yeah.
You can kick a field goal.
But hey, check it out.
That's
So,
ridiculous.
tell them this. The caveat of that, and the caveat of that rule, here's the caveat of that rule, is that the ball has to be like he said, not touch the ground. It has to be a certain distance in the air. It has to travel. When I say, I'm talking about in height. It has to be a certain height in the air. So if it doesn't reach a certain height, you can't use it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so rarely used.
Right. It's only been used once, I think, in the last, 10 or 15 years, D?
Yeah, it's not. It's something that
it is so rare.
Probably gonna happen.
It is so rare.
Well, I want them to go to gladiator style. Like, I'm sorry, I want them to smack each other. Kick off at the 40.
Oh, yeah.
Lines up at the 40. It's got to go to the 50. And guess what? Both teams go run right at each other. And whoever comes up with the ball gets.
I know, Pools, but they're never going to go back to that.
But let's talk
know.
about
No,
this.
too many concussions these days.
Let's talk about this. One of the things that I used to say this, I used to think the same way as you guys about this kickoff and all that, where they place the ball on. But you know what, man? It's high times for defensive coordinators to stop. And Robert Saleh's doing this, and he's pissing me off. Stop sagging your corners off. If they get beat, let them get beat. That means but you're sagging your corners off and giving these guys these easy 8-yard turnarounds. And if you watch that cover 2 sag, what they call it a cover 2 umbrella, that cover 2 umbrella that they're using is terrible for football.
You mean what the Jacksonville Jaguars use?
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a cover 2 zone defense. It's a cover 2 soft zone umbrella defense. It's a bend don't break defense, and I'm right there with D. I can't stand it.
That's all that tell me is you don't believe in your corners. That's all that tell me.
Well, so a lot of teams during the end of the year have gone to it. And that's why you see a lot of yardage getting picked up in the NFL during the end of the season. That's why you saw the Broncos and their defense after the bye start giving up a lot of yards. The same thing with the Texans because they're going into what is known umbrella or a soft shell cover 2 zone defense. It's what the Jaguars have actually ran all year long. They went into this year running a cover 2 soft shell zone defense.
It's terrible, man.
It is a horrible defense. It's literally, Eberflus did get fired, Mean Metal Mike. I don't have an opening right yet. When I do, I'll let the next person in.
Eberflus got fired, and he needed to.
That's why at one point in time, the Jaguars were leading the NFL in takeaways. Now, they hardly got any sacks this year because they were only rushing 4. But if you go back and you remember that that Kansas City Chiefs game, if it was not for that pick 6, what was it, 98, 97-yard return for a touchdown, the Kansas City Chiefs win that game. But that is the style of defense that they play.
But look at in those in between games before they switched it up. They had to switch it up.
Well, yeah, because they absolutely got destroyed by the Rams. Matthew Stafford absolutely tore that defense up, which I said he would.
And Matthew Stafford doesn't do well when his receivers are covered tight. He does not do well. If you watch him, whenever look at what Atlanta did. Atlanta played
press coverage,
press coverage on top press, and it killed him. He was holding the ball, he was batting the ball. I'm like, dude, all right, but that's just me.
Well, this is what's interesting, Dean. I'm glad you brought that up because now we're in the playoffs, right? Now we're in the final 14. What are these defensive coordinators going to do to change it up? Are the Jaguars going to play a soft umbrella coverage against Josh Allen? If you do, that dude's going to tear you up all day long. It don't matter that he ain't got the greatest wide receiver. He got Cooks, he's got Knox, he's got Kincaid, and he's got Cook. So there's a Cooks and a Cook. He's going to tear you up all day long if you're going to play a soft shell defense. He's going to tear you up. He's going to tear that Jaguars defense apart. Now, the only problem I have is, can the Bills stop the Jaguars offense? That's the problem I have. That's why I'm very interested in this game. Because I have seen spurts, flutters, appearances of a good defense in Buffalo. And it was when they were down 24-3 going into halftime against the New England Patriots in New England, and they came out and beat them because they shut the Patriots down. So that is why, because I was asked last night, I was on War Chant Kingdom's podcast last night, and guys, if you don't follow War Chant, please do me a huge favor and go follow him. He's a cool dude. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Don't hold it against him. He's an absolutely amazing guy.
He just lost me on that.
He's an amazing guy. He's like me. He's a football channel first, Chiefs channel second. He's football first.
So can I tell you why I think the Chiefs were so successful in the playoffs?
Who is successful?
The Chiefs.
All right, go ahead.
Because Spags knows how to send pressure when he needs to.
Well, yeah, Spags is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL.
There's a couple defensive coordinators in the AFC side especially who know when to send pressure and how to send pressure, and the offensive lines outside of a couple teams in the AFC are not good. If you send enough pressure, that quarterback is either A, running for his life, or getting put on the ground. And that is going to play to a lot of teams' success.
Well, you know, I was talking to War Chant last night, and I had read last night that Spags could be leaving the Chiefs.
Yep.
I read that last night. He's got interviews lined up for a bunch of head coaching positions. So
he's at the point now where he's towards the end of his career, and he said he wanted to give head coaching one more shot.
Yep.
That's where that's.
And if Spags leaves, with already the problems they have on defense, and he's been able to, you know, put a Band-Aid on it because of how good of a defensive coordinator he is. If Spags leaves, that is definitely going to hurt the Kansas City Chiefs going into next year. And again, I'm honest. You know, it's like last night on his podcast, I had this Bronco fan come in saying that I wasn't a true Bronco fan because I didn't think the Broncos had a good enough team to win a Super Bowl. They don't. The Broncos don't. I'm not a rose-colored glasses kind of fan. I see the problems that the Broncos have.
But, hey, Armchair, you're not going to agree with this, but he was right. And because you know what fan is short for? Fanatic.
Oh, I know.
So he's in his totality of his statement, he's right. Because you're not a fanatic. A fanatic means that he disregards the truth. It's like Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy is one of the biggest hypocrites, and he'll say things to get people to watch their podcast and all that. Why? It's just for life. That's why we get so upset at the Stephen A. Smith. They're only saying things to get us to watch. Right?
I know.
I don't
When
know.
you don't say things to get us to watch. Dude, please don't say his name.
Uh-oh. There he is.
Now,
You know what? I think I'm going to put a shelf right here just for D. No, I got to make it up here. Like right up here.
Hey, I promise if you put that book up on, I will never join you. We will talk purely through messaging.
It's superfluous that you regurgitate the crap coming out of your mouth.
Man.
Then I'm going to get a Ryan Clark book just for D.
Oh, my God. Two of the worst guys ever in sports.
What about Nick?
Why didn't we throw Dan Orlovsky in there?
Oh, Dan Orlovsky. Nick Wright. Colin Coward. Oh, Romo. Good Lord.
Chris Collinsworth.
No, Collinsworth is cool.
Collinsworth is cool. I like Collinsworth.
He just beat Glazer Mahomes. So, you know, there's a shitty part about the Chiefs losing in Spags and losing Matt Nagy. They could have Andy Reid.
Okay.
They could have Raheem Morris, and they could somehow manage to open the checkbook enough to get Stefanski to go there.
When it comes to Stefanski, I think, and I love Stefanski, I think he wants to be a head coach. I don't think he wants to be a coordinator.
Stefanski
He wants to be a head coach. I don't think he wants to be a coordinator.
Stefanski is going to be the next head coach of the New York Giants.
No.
Yeah, either the Giants or the Titans. Bro, I can see
No.
Bro, you've already been fired for that tape. Nobody's buying that tape.
Listen, I'm gonna ride it until the wave's gone.
What did he say? Say it again.
Antonio Pierce.
Stop.
Is
New
what?
York Giants head coach for 2026.
That's possible.
It's not possible. Antonio Pierce is podcast and a position coach at best. That's what he is. Stop.
Nah, but they might pick him up. They might get him off the couch.
I almost made a TikTok about it, trying to convince myself to believe
to buy
it.
that?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if somebody hires Phillip Rivers.
The high school that he coaches at already hired.
I heard through the grapevine, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, that there were talks of Phillip potentially being a quarterback coach for Bo.
For who?
For Bo.
Bo Nix. That's only if we lose Davis Webb.
Which I think is a very high possibility.
Oh, I think it's a high possibility, too, that we could lose Davis Webb and Vance Joseph. And if we were to lose Vance Joseph, I'd be opening up the checkbook for Raheem Morris. Because I think that, everybody's like, well, we just need to pay Vance Joseph more to keep him there. Yeah, you can do that, but you also got to talk to Vance and go, hey, do you want to stay here or do you want to go back and try to be a head coach?
This might.
Go ahead.
And the reason why I kind of don't, I think he will get a head coaching job to go get a second chance, but I don't think it will work out because he was terrible as a head coach in Denver.
Right, but you got to look at the Broncos team we had when he was the head coach. We didn't have a quarterback. We didn't have a run game. Our defense, what it is today, there were a lot of variables on why he was a bad head coach in Denver. You got to take. I'm so sorry, D, for talking over you, and I'll give you a chance in just a second. You got to take the years we had between Manning and Bo Nix and look at exactly what this team went through. You had Elway as a general manager, and no matter how great of a player Elway was a horrible, horrible, horrible general manager.
Didn't he put together the Super Bowl 50 team?
No.
I don't know why, but I feel the same way about Brady with the Raiders. Like, bro, I don't think he's going to be a good owner.
When it came to Manning, it was more of Pat Bowlen that brought him in than it was John Elway. And on that Super Bowl run, John Elway was no longer the head of player personnel.
Nope, he had got fired.
He had got fired from that role. John Elway had the chance to draft Josh Allen, and he said he didn't want him. But now in his documentaries, he's like, "Oh, I regret not drafting him." Well, you shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you didn't. So you got to look at that time span, the 9 years. The 9 years.
Lynch, Trevor Siemian, Brett Rippon, list goes on. Kendall Hinton.
No, Jordan, it was not Elway. Elway was not the head of player personnel. I think it was after Super Bowl 48 he got fired from that job.
John Elway was the GM in 2011, so he was part of that Super Bowl 50 team.
No. He was part of it, but he wasn't making the player decisions.
He wasn't a part of.
Big difference. Big difference.
Look, the thing about that is what people better recognize is this with Vance, what's his name? Y'all's D coordinator. I'm sorry.
Vance Joseph.
Vance Joseph is that even when you guys had him, that defense was still ripping through teams, and he kept Denver. What it was, Denver's offense couldn't move nothing, so the defense stayed on the field a whole lot. It's almost like it was the reverse Raiders, and that's what it was. And so he's not a bad coach. He's been. You can't give somebody the keys to a Mercedes and with no engine and say drive it uphill. You actually have to give them the parts to build the engine, and they wouldn't do that.
And if you want to talk about head coaches and stuff, the only reason why what's his name from Green Bay, Nathaniel Hackett was brought in, was because the Broncos, the old management group, right? This happened before the new ownership. So you got to take this in perspective. The old guard of the Broncos, before the Walter Penner group came in and finalized the deal, they were under the impression of bringing in Nathaniel Hackett because Aaron Rodgers was on his way to Denver, not New York. That is what the Bolin family and the old group was under the impression with. And so they brought in Nathaniel Hackett. And then that whole Aaron Rodgers thing just completely fell apart. That's why the old group sent all those draft picks for Russell Wilson. Now, when Russell Wilson came in, the ownership group changed to the Walter Penner group, and they're the ones that gave Russell Wilson that contract because they did not know how to run a football team. So you had that year with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson and all the embarrassment we had. But what did our ownership group do? They learned. They went and talked to other general managers. They went and talked to other head coaches. They went and talked to NFL executives. And they fired Nathaniel Hackett and traded for Sean Payton and brought him in, but we still had Russell Wilson. And they were still learning. And after that first year where we got blown out 70-20 in Miami, they had a good group meeting at the end of that year. And that is where they made a decision of, we'll be the first team in NFL history to eat $83 million in dead cap. And then they went out and drafted Bo Nix at number 12 in the first round the year after that. And the rest is history. And what's really good is the Broncos will be finally done with that dead cap hit next year.
This offseason.
Correct. This at the end of this year, they're done.
I just want to say this. Nathaniel Hackett was the biggest fraud in NFL history.
I agree 100%.
I don't know. Matt Nagy exists. So does Matt Eberflus.
Eberflus, listen.
What's going on, Raheem?
Put Eberflus in there.
Hey, me and Demetrius, we was just talking about Eberflus yesterday.
Yeah, we were.
Eberflus is just like, he's like, I'm putting him bottom 5 in every category. Like, in every way, Eberflus was a bottom 5.
Yeah, I keep bringing
They don't get no worse.
Yes, I do believe. I do believe the Broncos will be looking in free agency at wide receivers, and I'm going to tell you right now, with the position the Dallas Cowboys are in, with the position the Cowboys are in when it comes to their cap space and all of that, and all the reworking they're going to have to do to try to keep George Pickens, the Broncos have the money right now to swoop in and sign George Pickens. They do. The Dallas Cowboys are $22 million over the cap as we sit right now.
You got to think about like what the Broncos think they need. I don't think they need a wide receiver.
No, they do. No, trust me.
They need a consistent one.
Trust me. They know they need a wide receiver. What you hear now, okay, hold on. I want to make this clear, guys. I want to make this clear. What you hear now of, we like, when they come out and say, we like our crew, our group of guys. They're not going to come out and say, oh, these guys are horrible. They're not going to do that because then you drop morale and everything goes wrong. You're going to come out, you're going to show a strong front and say, oh, these guys are our guys. But in the back rooms where the doors are closed and it's just the ownership group, the general manager and the head coach, they've got sheets out, they've got stats out, they've got things out of going, this wide receiver would help Bo Nix, that wide receiver would help Bo Nix, we can afford him, we could trade for him. That is what they're doing. But you can't do that until March 12th.
That's the move they're going to make, though.
Okay, but
I don't think they're going to go get a wide receiver.
Let me say this, though. But it's not about just getting a wide receiver. It's getting the right wide receiver. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying George Pickens is not a talent. He is. George Pickens takes too many plays off of me when he gets frustrated, when he gets in his attitude. And that's not something
I agree.
In your life. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So we're all talking about the 2027 season, man. Like, maybe the Broncos are thinking 2027 because 2027 is when Chris Olave and a few of those guys can become free agents, man. Like, I think the Broncos should wait till 2027.
Why are we going to skip a year, though?
Yeah, if we wait till 2027, there's so much we could miss out in this offseason.
Now the Broncos got a bright future. Like next 5 years,
I would say wait a year because
Hold on,
the talent that we have on the roster isn't bad, and I think that
Yeah.
you'll lose Sutton in 2027 because his contract will be up, and then that's when
I don't think they're going to re-sign him.
That's when you go get someone like Chris Olave.
You're not going to get Chris Olave.
If they keep Tyler Shuck in New Orleans, they're gonna. I guarantee you, they're gonna resign. They're gonna sign into an extension.
But Chris, what have you seen out of Chris Olave on a consistent basis that you would want him there in Denver? And he's a dome. Remember now, he's dome. You're getting a dome guy coming outside.
Okay, so hold on, D, hold on. I got hey Chris, bro, hey Chris.
Yes.
Cortland Sutton's contract is through 2029.
Yeah, but
that's what I was asking you. That's why I was like, what is Sutton's contract?
But yes, they do have an out. Chris is right though.
It's gonna have to be a wide receiver too.
Hold on, Chris is hold on. Chris is right. They do have a potential out in 2027 because his dead cap hits only 15 million.
I think they should buy him.
And you would save 21 million in 2027 and 22 million in 2028, and you would save 30 million in 2029.
Wait, Armchair, not to cut you off, but if you were the GM, if you were sitting at that desk, in my opinion, I would get rid of Sutton.
Get rid of Sutton? No, I wouldn't.
I would try to get draft picks for him.
Nope.
Like now.
Nope.
But why?
Nope. Okay, I'm going to explain. Let me explain. You asked me, what would I do?
What's his reason why he would get rid of him, though? Why would
Because he's not a consistent wide
Okay.
receiver.
Okay. Right. Okay. Here we go. You keep Sutton and you move him to 2. You move him to the 2, the X. You bring in a Y, which is your number 1 wide receiver. You bring in a Y. You move Sutton to the X, and you put Bryant as your slot, your Z.
Yeah.
And so now Sutton on the left side or the right side, depending on where they're going to line up the number 2, is not going to get double covered because they're going to put the double coverage on your Y. So think of a wide receiver like, and I'm just gonna this isn't going to happen, but I'm going to throw a name out there. Okay, Waddle, right? Waddle. Say Waddle is your number 1. Are they going to double Waddle or are they going to double Sutton? They're going to double Waddle. So that means now Sutton on the opposite side with Pat Bryant or whoever they put there are going to be in single coverage for a go route, slant, in route, cross, anything. They'll be in single coverage. And the defense will shift, right? Not only when you double cover a wide receiver, your defense isn't normal. You have to shift it.
Well, most teams are just cover 2 and Jalen Waddle. It's normally just a safety over the top. It's not like
right, because you have to shift the defense.
So much attention on him. It's just one over the top, and he's pretty much handled.
Well, I think honestly, what I would do if we managed to get a true number 1, young true.
No, y'all could get one. You gotta go out and get them, man. Gotta get rid of these. But some of these pieces can go.
If we get one, right? What I was thinking is we have the 1. We have Franklin at the 2, and then we rotate Sutton and Pat at the 3.
You're not moving Sutton to a 3.
It's not gonna
I'll
work.
tell you what, Armchair, I'll trade you.
Sutton is a diva. He's not gonna go all the way to
ham sandwich. I'll trade you Brandon Ayuk with a number 1 for a ham sandwich.
You can keep Brandon Ayuk.
I'll give you 3 Starbursts and a nickel.
Mile High, Montana, I will disagree with you 100%. That is not on Bo Nix. Bo Nix is second in the NFL in drop passes.
Man, they need to get off of that.
Drop passes are not on the quarterback. Yes, it is a quarterback stat.
Dude, when are we gonna stop?
But it's on the wide receiver.
They won't because
I couldn't hear you. Wait,
that's all that they can talk about.
No, I'm talking about when are we gonna stop with saying things about guys like Bo Nix, who's out there delivering the ball between the numbers.
Oh, no, that was on Sean Payton. That wasn't on Bo Nix. That was on Sean Payton. Let me make this perfectly clear. What you watched Sunday was the most vanilla preseason offense the Denver Broncos had. They came out and admitted it. They 100% came out and admitted that was a vanilla preseason offense they ran on Sunday.
We all know that. They're trying to get out of the game.
Yeah, they just want to get out.
No
of it.
injuries. They're just trying to get out of the game.
You get out of that game with no injuries or no major injuries. I think the only major injury we had was Bowles, who said he's going to be fine, and then Locke, who's going to do everything he can to be back in the divisional round. You came out with a victory, the number 1 seed. It may not have looked pretty.
That's the Sean Payton playbook.
It may not have looked pretty. And, you know, the deal is, and I've been saying it all year, would you rather have a pretty win and a bad record or ugly wins and the number 1 seed? Which one would you rather have?
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know. See, ugly wins come at a cost, though.
What cost?
Like the Chiefs last year. It's literally they're like a carbon copy of the Chiefs.
Because we're playing gritty
by
all
like
60 minutes.
one score.
Hey, that's like me as a Niner fan getting on here saying, we lost 13-3, but we only gave up 13. Man, shut up, man. That's not how that went. That game was dominated by the Seahawks on the defensive side of the ball. You know what? The only thing that I don't give credit to the Seahawks for was this. And it's the only thing I do, because I went and did all 22 yesterday, and I finally just got the courage to go watch
that
this
blocking
game.
though? When I watched that
blocking was terrible.
That blocking was crazy.
Yeah, you need to go watch all 22. I wish you would, because it was so many holding penalties that they didn't.
On who?
It was ridiculous.
Oh, the D, I'm going to agree with you, man. The officiating, it was so bad this weekend.
And I don't want to take away from what the Seahawks did, because they played a great game. But the fact that, when I say holding, I'm talking about stuff that was so blatant. I'm like, how do you miss this call?
Look at the Panthers-Buccaneers game.
50-50. Sometimes, wait, hold on. Sometimes, like, when you're watching these clips, it's like 50-50. Sometimes.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I need to answer Joe 11 or Joe 1-1. Joe 1-1. Cool. The Patriots put up 38 points and the Bills put up 40. Awesome. Do the Bills and the Patriots have a bye week this weekend coming up?
Nope.
No.
Who did the Bills play? The Jets.
Jacksonville.
Who did? No. I'm talking about in week 18. They played the Jets. Who did the Patriots play? The Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Who did the Broncos play? Oh, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Not the best, but a very good one. And the Los Angeles Chargers. I get it. They rested their starters. Why didn't the Broncos rest starters? Well, I just told you why. You're going into a bye week. When you rest your starters for multiple weeks, the likelihood of you losing in the divisional round expands drastically.
Just to intervene, Cliff Kingsbury just left the Commanders, by the way.
For where?
He just left the organization. He's pursuing other jobs. That's all it says.
Good. His offense is trash.
He's going to some team. Some team's already going to pick him up. I would not be surprised if it ain't the Raiders.
Hey, his offense is straight booty. His offense is booty, bro. Like,
I would not be surprised if Kingsbury's not going to the Raiders.
He be trying to run the Shanahan offense with no motion, which is
I think Kingsbury goes to the Titans.
All right, so Joe 1-1. Did we win the game? Yes. Did it look pretty? No. Did we secure the number 1 seed? Yes. Did major players get hurt? No. Already, Bull said he's going to be fine. Lockett's already said he's going to be fine.
What's his
all it was a ankle for Bowles, right?
Wait. Hey, Armchair, what's his point to all of what he's asking?
He's asking why the Broncos didn't blow out the Chargers like the Bills blew out the Jets and the Patriots blew out the Dolphins.
You don't need to blow a team out as long as you get a win and you're the number 1 team. You could have won that game by 1 point. It wouldn't even matter. You don't need to blow one out.
If you want to see all the Bronco haters, go to my most recent video on my channel where I did my Super Bowl bracket and everybody was hating on because I had the Broncos and the Rams in the Super Bowl. People were saying that the Broncos offense cannot go to the defense can lead them to the Super Bowl, but the offense cannot go to the Super Bowl because they only put up 19 points.
What's up, Chester?
That's a legit take, though. That's a legit take. Let me be perfectly
KG, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that.
I do not care if my team goes
13
Guys, leave him
wins,
alone.
With 10 of those wins being my 1 point, I do not care than getting blown out in one of those losses that I have. I will take the ultimate 10 wins by 1. That shows you that my team can get winning the tie game, the back one. I don't want to see no shootout because that's going to come to a ref call, a drop, some stupid. I want it in the trenches, running the ball, getting hit. And guess what? If I win by 1, guess what? It doesn't matter if you win your 13 games and your point differential is minus 400. Guess what? You got 13 wins in close games. You just got blown out in the rest. Who cares?
But Pools, you see, that's the point, though, Pools. You don't think like a fan, a fanatic. You think like a guy that just likes football. See, a fanatic thinks like, it's style. That's why we have this whole argument about elite quarterbacks, and they gotta be runners, and they gotta. No, man. If we look at the game of football and how it was structured, a quarterback is back there, a guy that takes care of the game, puts the ball in the right spots, makes the right decisions down in and down out. That's what an elite quarterback is. But you got clowns like Cam Newton that come along and go, they're not elite because they weren't like me. Bro, you never had 2 back-to-back winning seasons. Stop. You weren't elite yourself. You weren't elite. You, if it wasn't for your running, nobody was scared of Cam Newton as a passer. Tell me one team that was scared of Cam Newton as a passer.
Cam Newton. Cam Newton was scared of Cam Newton as a passer.
Exactly.
I bet all of his wide receivers were scared of him as a passer.
So when you talk about that, when we talk about this stuff, I'm saying that's what I mean. The fanatic part of fan has to come to realization about how football is played. Coaches go in the game and say, how can we win this game? Well, we'll win this game by this. We'll grind it down. We'll make it a low-scoring game. We'll take a lot of time off the clock. And this is what they don't, and fans don't take that into consideration, what a coach's mindset is going into that game. Period. And like you said, Pools, ain't nobody trying to get in no shootout every Sunday and put up. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Look, Bo Nix is a very good quarterback, right? Okay, I like Bo Nix. I love my team. I do. But I also look at my team logically and responsibly. I'm not going to look at them through rose-colored glasses. If there's areas that need to be fixed, I'm going to address it. If there's areas that need to be improved, I'm going to address it. I'm not going to come on here and say we're the greatest team because we're not.
Hey, you're not a Broncos fan.
Look, armchair.
You just buy a lot of merch.
I guess. What's up, Pulse?
You just buy a lot of merch.
Yeah, so, like my point is that the Broncos, we can fix our offense. We do have an offense because we did blow up some good teams. Like we can put up more than 40 points sometimes. Some games, like the Jets, you could say that we are not a Super Bowl team because we only beat the Jets 14-11. You could say that we only beat the Raiders 7-10 at home. Like, but those games where Sean Payton was treating those like trap games.
What did it do?
Well, no. Okay, let me talk about that Raider game real quick on Thursday night. Let's be perfectly clear here. And I had said it because that was the game before the bye week. The Broncos were tired. They had just went on a 7-game stretch in 39 days. One of those games was overseas in London. The Broncos team was tired because look at what happened when they played the Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes and them after the bye week. In, what was it, in Denver? Yeah, in Denver. We won. So, again, you can look at this year and be like, the Broncos are frauds. They have the ugliest 1 seed. But are you still 14-3? Are you still the 1 seed? Do you still have home field advantage? We could say the same thing about the Seattle Seahawks, right? Are the Seattle Seahawks the most dominant team in the NFC because they're the 1 seed? Absolutely not. They've had absolutely horrible games. They only beat Phillip Rivers out of retirement by kicking field goals. They only beat the Houston Texans because of their defense. Their offense committed 4 turnovers, a strip sack for a touchdown. So nobody, I'm sorry, and I'm going to be honest here, nobody in the playoffs, nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody in the playoffs are this juggernaut team that you're going, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Nope.
There's not one team. Every single team has flaws. Every single one of them. The Eagles, their offensive play calling. The 49ers, their injuries. The Bears, they're a young team that almost lost to the Packers. The Packers, injuries. The Panthers, you needed another team's help to get in. The Rams, you lost to the Panthers. You've had bad losses. The Seahawks, you've had bad wins and bad losses. The Steelers, you got a geriatric for a quarterback. The Texans, hey, I'm just going here, Glee Man. The Texans, great defense. Your offense scares your whole entire fan base because they don't know if you can move the ball. The Patriots, you've had some very ugly. You lost to the worst team in the NFL, the Raiders. And then you blew a 21-point lead to the Bills.
That's what might be like.
Hold on, I'm not done, guys. Give me a minute. I'm almost there. The Chargers, you have no offensive line. Your quarterback is playing with a broken hand. Your run game is down to one running back. Your wide receivers is basically Keenan Allen. The Jaguars, you play one of the softest covered defenses known to man. And oh, by the way, you got blown out by the Rams. The Bills, you have Josh Allen with no wide receivers and a horrible run-stopping defense. And then the Denver Broncos, second-year quarterback, a very conservative head coach, and with the second most drops in the NFL, only behind the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do y'all know what he's doing? All he's doing is showing that every team, especially that's in the tournament right now, has their own flaws. Every last one.
Oh yeah.
And all everybody has done when he
There's
got
no
on your
like
team,
unbeatable team.
right? All everybody has done when he got on your team is go, oh, but we didn't. No, don't do that. Own that stuff. Own it. Because
Yeah, wait. Why are the Patriots like? Why are they acting like that Raiders loss don't matter though? That's kind of like losing to the Jets with Justin Fields.
Hey,
I
so
mean, my argument was pretty valid. Just
hey, so we're talking about these playoff teams and teams that needed help and all that kind of stuff with the Panthers. So if the Panthers go to the playoffs,
Oh, the Panthers are helpless.
So I'm just saying, man. Like I live in Carolina. I get every Panther game. Unfortunately, I don't like them. I don't watch it. But if we get the Panthers that beat the Rams, the Packers, and all these good teams, then the Panthers might be able to do something. But if we get the ones that played against the Saints,
I will say the
we're gonna
Panthers
get
do
embarrassed.
Right. Well, hold on, guys. I love what Chris just said. You said if we get this team, or if we get that team. It's the same thing for the Seattle Seahawks. If we get this team, or if we get that team. Same thing with the Denver Broncos. If we get the team that absolutely shut down the Dallas Cowboys, or if we get the team that committed too many turnovers against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Every single team in the NFL has had great games this year and have had absolutely horrible games this year. Yes. The Buffalo Bills, right? Everybody's saying it's Josh Allen's year because Mahomes isn't in, because Lamar's not in, because Burrow's not in. That's the same Buffalo team that got beat 30-13 by the Miami Dolphins.
The same one.
Didn't they get blown out by the Texans too?
No, it wasn't a blowout, but they lost by like 2 scores.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a blowout. But
It was like I think they lost by like 13.
No, but the Texans handled them. It wasn't the game wasn't
It
even.
wasn't close. I think the Bills.
No, I mean the Texans were only up by like 1 score.
No, I got you, but you know what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
No,
is
it was like a
even with
shutout.
The score didn't. The score didn't.
What's going on, one and only Jordy?
Oh yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, also, can I go back to D's point? You know, we're talking about Cam Newton commenting on all these quarterbacks and doing all this weird stuff, and you know, like Cam Newton was great in his day, but since he's been retired, he's just turning into a weird little dude. Like I said, I lived in Carolina.
No,
I've been
he was a weird little dude when he was in Carolina.
Like I've been to Panther training camp. I've watched Panther. I've been to Panther camps when Andy played, and like I understand that he doesn't whatever, man, and he should have jumped on that fumble, whatever, Super Bowl, whatever. He gets a lot of hate. But I've watched a lot of Cam Newton football, and to say that he could not pass the ball is absolutely crazy.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said, who was afraid of him as a passer? That's
Everyone should have been afraid of the passer because that dude had
Is Bryce Young playing different like prime Cam Newton was? No. Okay, hold on real quick. Hold on. Let's talk about the Panthers. Since we're talking about the Panthers, I don't want to talk about old Panthers. I don't. That's in the past. It don't matter. They're not playing anymore. He's retired. He's running his mouth. Great. Let's talk about the new Panthers with Bryce Young. And this is the problem with the Panthers that I said when they moved up to get Bryce Young and traded with the Chicago Bears. Because I'm an Alabama fan. Bryce Young does not like to run the ball. Cam Newton did. Bryce Young does not. If you watch that game against Tampa Bay, he had multiple opportunities to run the ball to gain yardage and first downs, and he absolutely did not do it. That is the prime Alabama Bryce Young last year when he knew he was going in the first round of the draft. And I had warned everybody. Do not draft him.
I'm going to say this. You can say whatever you want about Bryce Young. But one thing he did do is he took a big enough leap to get his team in this tournament. So I'm giving him props. He took a big enough leap to get his team in this tournament. He played some great games. Right? This is his third year.
Right, but what I'm saying is, hold on, Dave. What I'm trying to get across, though, is you're in the tournament. Great. What are you going to do with it?
We'll see. Armchair, I'm standing. Hold on, let me say this real quick, Bryce. I know you want to get in. I'm standing right here telling you, you are going to see a surprise win this weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
That you think has no
Yeah,
chance.
my upset that I chose, but I think the Jaguars. I don't know why are the Bills favored at the Jags?
Because of Josh Allen. That's it right there, Josh Allen.
I get the whole but it's still bro, I'm taking that money every day. I'm taking that. Who's not taking that? It's free money sitting right there.
I don't know. I'm telling you right now.
With that Bills defense, the Jags are putting up 20 bare minimum.
San Francisco 49ers are going to go into Philadelphia and they are going to fucking shock the world.
You like that upset?
They're gonna show Jalen Hurts why he doesn't need to be a quarterback because
I wouldn't be too mad at that. Because 49ers win, the Rams win, the Bears win, and the 49ers got to come play us again.
All over that defense.
They got to come play.
Let me ask you this question real quick.
Explain something to me.
What's up, Bryce?
So, you're saying that our weaknesses are soft zone shell coverage, yet other teams are starting to use it because they're seeing how it works, and we're tied for #1 in interceptions.
Right, you're right behind the Chicago Bears. But you're almost dead last in the NFL in sacks.
They got one.
But Bryce, when your team plays against a healthy quarterback that dissects across the middle and underneath, they kill that coverage. Why?
Oh, cool, Mikey. That's awesome. You'll be at that game.
Stafford exposed the hell out of it, but no other quarterback has except for him.
So, well, actually, you have 4 losses, so somebody had to.
Hold on, Sam Darnold threw for 250 and 3 touchdowns against y'all with no TOs.
Now, here's my question. What I heard, how much the Bronco tickets are going to be next week, I heard they're going to start at $5,000, depending on where you want to sit.
It's bad.
All right. Yeah, $5,000. Here we go. Most surprising win for Super Wild Card Monday. Or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? Super Wild Card weekend. Most surprise win, in my opinion, would be the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Houston Texans.
Whoa. I'm with you on that one, Armchair.
And let me explain why.
I can see that.
You're going up against the #1 defense in the Houston Texans. You've got to have that offensive line protect against 2 or 3 of the best pass rushers in the NFL this year. And it showed on Sunday night that Rodgers that mobile anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, you do get DK Metcalf back, but nobody mentioned it Sunday night, and it drove me absolutely bonkers. Not having that tight end, Darnell Washington, is hurting the Steelers' offense.
Yeah, where's Firemouth? Is he hurt too?
No, Firemouth is out there, and I love Firemouth. I'm a huge Firemouth fan. But Darnell Washington was such a huge threat in the red zone and on third downs.
Unit.
Yeah, but can
People
I
were
say this?
scared to tackle the motherfucker.
I
No,
know,
I'm saying, like,
and
I was watching him run, like,
that's all good, but they gotta blame that on Aaron
Run like a
Rodgers.
fullback.
That boy hurt.
Now, I will say, I will say, this is something though. The Texans are a domed team.
Just gonna bring that up.
They're going into Pittsburgh, and it is going to be 38 degrees
It's gonna be cold.
at the start of that game. How do you win a game when it's that cold? How do you win a game? Come on, you can say it. I know you know it. You run the ball.
We're forgetting the major part. CJ Stroud played in Ohio.
You run the ball and you turn the heaters off on the visitor's side. That's what you
No, he hasn't played.
It's not like he doesn't know what cold weather football
No, but he hasn't
is.
played in that in like 3 years now.
Yeah, you like y'all keep. I heard somebody else.
Why are we going back 3 years
Somebody
ago?
played in college. Dude, they've been out of college now for 3 or 4 years. That stuff doesn't apply.
He's played in Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Missouri.
No, but those aren't playoff games.
Yes, they are. He played.
And he's
all three
also-
of them
When
in
did
the
he play in Buffalo in a playoff game?
I know, Chester. Hey, hold on, guys. Before you think I'm hating on the Texans, I'm not. I love CJ Stroud. Y'all know that I've said he should have been the #1 overall pick. But what I'm trying to get the point across is when you're in the playoffs, it's been proven throughout the history of the NFL, all the way back to 1920, to win in the playoffs, because again, it is cold, you have to run the ball. And I love their rookie running back. What's his name? Woody Marks. Think he's great. Can't wait to see him in a full offseason and the next year.
And Chubb's hurt, so he's their only option.
And Juwan Jordan.
You got to run that ball. Right? Same thing with the Steelers. The Steelers are going to have to run the ball as well. But you're in cold weather. You're going to be in Pittsburgh. That crowd is going to be loud. And yes, being a dome team does affect you because majority of your games through the year are in environmentally controlled games. You go to Jacksonville, it's 70 degrees, so that doesn't matter. You go to Indianapolis, it's in a dome. You go to Tennessee, unless you're in Tennessee around December, it ain't cold.
He went to Kansas City last year and it was freezing. So
That's the deal. Cold weather football, cold weather playoff football is completely different. I'm not saying that what I said, that would be my most shocking win.
Mute your mic.
Most shocking win would be if the Steelers beat the Texans. Because I think the Texans should win this game because of that defense. I think they should be able to shut DK Metcalf down. I think they should be able to at least get 4 or 5 sacks on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And we know when you sack Aaron Rodgers, he gets irritated. He gets mad. And when he gets irritated and mad, he doesn't play great.
On the other end of that, if somehow that the Steelers' offensive line can protect Aaron Rodgers, he will pick apart that secondary.
That's it right there. That's why I said it would be shocking.
But you know, the word that I heard.
will never
Hey,
leave
Riley
Aaron
Leonard did have his way with that defense. I don't know. It might have been the last game of the season, yeah, but 30 points is still crazy for Riley
The
Leonard.
main word that I heard in your sentence
Except for starters in the second
was
half.
the word if.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's if. It's a big if.
It's a big if, but guess
Armchair.
what? It can't be. It's been done already this season by other teams. They've lost games. Their defense has been held at bay. Now they have been strong the last 5-6 weeks. But you saw a rookie, Riley Leonard.
Yeah, but guys, come on. Hold up. After halftime, nobody played.
Team of the season.
I know, but what is the one thing that Houston is known for? Their depth. So
Yes.
you're playing your second and third string guys.
And that looked absolutely horrible.
By a rookie quarterback.
All
You know who
right,
has the
so
best depth in the league?
let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question then.
Seattle.
Honestly,
Hold up. Let me ask this question. What would be more shocking? The Steelers beating the Texans or the Bills beating the Jaguars? And we're going to go one at a time because I know all of you want to jump in. So let's go one at a time. Denver, Deb. What would be more shocking? The Steelers beat the Texans or the Bills beat the Jaguars?
I would take
The
Steelers.
Steelers.
One at a time, guys.
Yeah, definitely the Steelers beating the Texans. I wouldn't be shocked if Josh Allen pulls it off.
All right, Chris, what would be yours?
Steelers beating the Texans.
All right, Bryce, what would be yours?
Bills beating the Jaguars.
Pools, what would be yours?
Pittsburgh.
D, what would be yours? Steelers beating the Texans or Bills beating the Jaguars? Which one would be more shocking?
The T-Con.
He's still Mike. All right, go ahead. What are you? Colva, what would be yours?
Steelers all the way.
Glee Man, what would be yours?
Bills.
All right, D, what would be yours? Steelers beating the Texans or the Bills beating the Jags?
Bills beating the Jaguars.
C, right, what would be yours?
Bills beating the
You say
Jaguars.
the same thing about it's the same thing about Josh Allen. Josh Allen, what's the problem?
It's a 50-50. I mean,
Bro, ain't even let me finish. Bro. All right, Bills beating the Jags. Go ahead.
All right, so
Spread on that Steelers Texans game. 6.5.
yeah, I loved your video.
No,
I do
I
think
don't think the
Bill had
touchdown
better
anymore. It's
second
like
usage
4.
than almost every quarter. Thank you, T Mills. I greatly appreciate that, brother.
It's like 4.5 on what's it called, chalkboard.
For what game? For what game?
The Texans Steelers.
Oh, according to ESPN bets, because I only look at the ESPN app because I love it. It's a lot easier to get stats and stuff like that. They have the Houston by 3. I don't know if the number for the Bills. Let's see here. Did the Bills number still hasn't changed? Well, actually, so it's still a 1.5 for the Bills, but it's a 51.5 total.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Yeah, that's under over 51.5.
That might be over at half.
The Rams game, they got the Rams by 10, the Bears by 1.5, the Bills by 1.5, the Eagles by 4.5, the Patriots by 3.5, and the Texans by 3.
You like San Fran to make for that upset. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody say that.
I'm telling you, the Eagles are not the Eagles of last year.
Nah, I mean they're not that good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see them as like
not.
a Super Bowl team.
I'm sorry, Brock Purdy's gonna throw some.
They're probably like I'll put them probably 4th or 5th in the NFC right now. I'm putting the Rams over them. I think the Rams are better than them, in my opinion.
The 49ers are the 6th seed.
I just want to say this. Listen, I want to say this about the Niners and that Philadelphia Eagles game. Some teams are just no, it's not. You know me better than that. Some teams are just made for other teams. They're made for them, right? And for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan is made to beat Philly's defense. I don't know how but he has made Philly's defense, even when they were made them look really pedestrian. He has. And I don't know how, but he does.
Are you in? I'm telling you, this is how he's going to beat them. Short, intermediate throws to stop that pass rush, and then they're gonna have to slow down the pass rush.
What's up, my opinion?
I mean, it's.
What's up, Mark?
I already see it coming. And guess what? Then you're gonna force Jalen Hurts to have to beat you with his arm because Saquon Barkley hasn't done squat all year long. Now, could he break off with one of his 200-yard games this weekend? Yeah, but I'm sorry. It's going to come down to Jalen Hurts' arm, and I don't trust Jalen Hurts' arm.
I don't trust the offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
I don't even know who their offensive coordinator is.
There you go. But let's see here. That game, hold on. What do they have with that game?
I just like San Francisco in this game. Kind of like what Dee was saying. Like
4.5.
Made for Kyle Shanahan to come in and have an upset.
I think the only reason why they have the Eagles at 4.5 favorites is because it's in Philadelphia.
I agree. And when you're at home, you get 3 points automatic.
Yes, Apostle, that did happen.
So you're telling me they're a 1.5 favorite over just because of home?
Okay, let me ask you this question though, real quick. If that's what we all been going off of all year. Is Fred Warner coming back? If he does, he'll be in the NFC Championship game if they're still in. So you're giving 4.5 because of the 3 points of being at home. And we all agree that you get the 3 points for being at home. So the Buffalo Bills are a 1.5 favorite over the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are at home. So does that mean that if the Bills were at home, they'd be favored by 4.5?
Probably. You don't want to play in Buffalo this time of year.
Oh, heck no. It'd be too dang cold. And I'd love it.
No different than
I bet there's a foot and a half of snow on the ground on Sunday.
I mean, it's probably going to be colder in Buffalo than it is in Pittsburgh this weekend.
Can I say something that's going to sound crazy, but in my head it's not crazy. I might be crazy, but it's okay.
As
So
long as you don't bring up Bruce anymore.
I have the Chargers beating the Patriots in Gillette Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of people are
I
taking
agree
that.
with that. Yeah.
That's not a hot take.
Y'all know a game I would put the under on for total points?
I think we can lose that game.
Yeah, there's so many people that feel that way as well.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's a top defense.
The Patriots are
haven't
1 and
played
2
all
against
year.
teams with a winning record, and the one team they beat was the Buffalo Bills.
Right. A game that I'm probably planning on taking the under on total points is that Patriots Chargers game. Like, if I had to make a score prediction, I would say it's probably going to be like 17-9.
I'm taking the over, and I am taking
No, it's going to be like 17-9. I'm telling you, that's going to be a weird.
Well, they got the total of 46.5.
Yeah, so I'm taking that under all day.
They might be 20-17 at halftime.
You think?
Yes.
I don't know. I got Patriots like 17-9. I like that.
Good up, everybody.
What's up, Storm Chaser Jay?
Chilling. No, I like the Chargers beat the Patriots on that game too. Like dude was pointing out, the Patriots only play 2 teams that are playoff teams. The Panthers.
Yeah, they haven't looked the best against the good teams.
All right, go ahead, Jay. What were you saying? Let Jay finish his comment real quick. What's up, bro?
Yo, somebody's in the club.
There we go. I said the Patriots. They've only
No,
played-
I'm in freaking Home Depot.
Then mute your mic.
All right, guys, come on. Let Jay finish his comment.
Nah, y'all are good. The Bills and the Jags, though, man, I don't want to touch that game because that's going to be a shootout, offensive shootout.
Yeah. That's why before you joined, we were saying it's going to be over the total for 50 points.
Oh yeah, I feel it'll be at least 360.
Yeah.
And then who else is? Oh, and then I gotta go with my Texans. I have to.
You like Texans? Give me a score prediction.
Score prediction on the Texans. I will say Texans win 24-14-17.
24-17.
I think it could be more of a 24-21 game, in my opinion.
Nah,
I'm thinking
I was say like 21-3.
Well, the only reason I'm going with like the 24 is because I know there's going to be a lot of field goals by the Texans. Because let's be real, Houston cannot score in the red zone. They are trash in the red zone.
Who?
Houston.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's going to be.
I think they're like ranked number like 26 in red zone efficiency.
Yeah.
And that's the problem we have trusting the Texans, right? You trust their defense. And we know defense wins you championships. We know that. It's been proven.
Yes, definitely.
But offense has got to get you the point. Now, unless the defense, has like a pick six or something like that, then there you go. But you don't want to have to rely on your defense to have that.
Yeah, and the Texans are good for that. They're good for scoop and score, pick six. They're good for that.
I know they are.
Like you said, you gotta have that offense has to get points on the board, and Fairburn can't win a game with just field goals, even though he has.
So okay, here's a question though.
Hold on.
All right, so they according to ESPN bets had the Patriots winning, but according to a lot of pundits and everybody out there, they say the Chargers are winning this game. So if the Patriots win, is it a shocker they won, or is it? Well, yeah, they were supposed to win.
Which one's considered the upset?
Exactly right. They had the Patriots by 3.5.
And that's only because they're in Foxborough. That's it. That's
All right, so you're saying they're half a point favorite because we give them 3 points for being at home.
Yeah.
No, that is not the coldest game. The Steelers and Texans is.
Mm-hmm. Wait, we're playing that.
Here's the thing. If the
Yeah.
Chargers in that game, I'm like, okay, we can see that coming. That the Chargers are a really good team in a really good division. Now, if the Patriots lose, or if the Patriots win, then it's more of, okay, maybe the Patriots are for real, and, you know, their schedule, even though as soft as it was, they're better than what, you know, people are thinking they are. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, you know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, either team wins, you know, is the team that you got to watch out for.
Right.
Like, I'm not, like, the last week of the season, the Chargers against the Broncos, and wade into that because it was like, you know, they weren't really playing for anything other than seed. You know, Broncos were going for a number 1 seed, and the Chargers was going for a seed. That's
No,
all it was.
Broncos had the number 1.
You know,
No, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
no, because if they had lost that game to the Chargers, then they would have been the number 2 seed. Because
Yeah,
the
you're
Patriots-
right.
No, we actually would have been. No. Wait a minute. What do we? Yeah, we would have been.
You
Yeah,
would have been the 3 seed.
You would have been the number.
we would have been. No, we would have been the 2. Let's see here. We would have been. Yeah, we would have been the 3 seed behind the Jaguars. Because we would have been 13-4, and the loss to the Jaguars, we would have been the 3 seed.
But I thought y'all had.
And then you would have been.
And then we would be playing the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Broncos don't want to be playing the Bills in round 1.
I want to be real. I would like to see Bills beat Jacksonville because I'm more as a Texans fan. I'd rather play the Bills because we own the Bills in the series and in the playoff series.
Hey,
But
Storm,
Jacksonville
can I
is
say
playing
something
good
to you?
ball.
Hey,
Do what?
Storm, as a Jaguars fan, from the bottom of my heart, fuck you respectfully.
Straight up. No, the Jags are fucking scary this year, man. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. You know, because, and not only that, but they're also a divisional rival. So,
Hey, this is a quick question.
What's up, Chris? Hold on. What's up, Chris?
So, Bryce, man, what happens if the Bills put belts to asses on the Jags, sir?
Well, then we lose and we come back next year.
straight up.
You act like I'm going to commit seppuku because we lose a bad season. I'm a Jaguars fan, guys. Come on now.
Hey, here's the deal. If the Jaguars lose, hold on. If the Jaguars lose the first round, guess what? You made it to the first round with a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the big thing. You made it to the first round with a rookie head coach.
He should be coach of the year.
I'd give him coach of the year, yeah.
Well,
Coach of the year,
What's up?
Coach of the year is based off the 18 weeks, not added in the playoffs.
And other than Mike Vrabel, who
I mean,
did
how that
better
was
as a
bad.
coach turning their team around.
Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen.
Ben Johnson is the only coach I can see that did better in Chicago than in Jacksonville. But
Yeah, that's true. Ben Johnson over there in Chicago. Yeah.
All right, let me ask this question.
Huh?
Because I've seen it a lot online. And I don't think, let me first make this point clear. I don't think he should be. But I hear a lot of people saying that Sean Payton should be coach of the year because of year 2 quarterback Bo Nix, and of course the most dead cap money on the salary. Now, personally, myself, no, I don't think he should be coach of the year. I think it should be Liam Cohen or Ben Johnson.
Definitely shouldn't be Sean Payton.
Yeah, I think you're right, Armchair. I think it should be either Cohen or Ben Johnson. One of those.
I mean,
two, yes.
And I don't. This is gonna sound insane. I don't think Vrabel should be in the running.
I agree because he was a head coach before.
Well, not only that, but like it's not like this is a culture shock. We saw him do this with Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. Like this is nothing new for Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, but you also took a team who was absolute dog shit and made them a
Super Bowl contender.
Right, you took a 13 and 14, a 3 and 14 team, and turned them into a 14 and 3 team.
Not only that, but you also just took this team who was dog shit.
No, it's always the head coach. I don't think there's ever been a coordinator that's won coach of the year. I think it only goes to head coaches.
Yeah.
But hey, he also took first place in a division that has been ran by the Bills for how many years in a row now?
Yeah, it's kind of like how the Broncos took the division that was ran by the Chiefs for 9 years.
Yes, I mean that's an invalid. I mean, argument-wise, I feel like that's almost invalid. But
What's up?
You're welcome.
Somebody got that background noise on somebody.
Like a team move, right? You never know a team.
You're what? Armchair, you're welcome for that. The West clinch, the division clinch.
What's that, Jay?
I said you're welcome for that AFC West division clinch.
I don't know. I think a large part of the Patriots needs to go to Josh McDaniels. I don't think that offense is that successful if Josh McDaniels isn't back there. I don't think Drake May is as successful this year if Josh McDaniels isn't there. I think that has a huge part to do with what that team has done.
Well, I think Drake, like I said, strength of schedule aside, I mean, let's keep it real.
I don't look at strength of schedule, and y'all know that, because you only play who they put in front of you, and guess what? These are 32 teams full of 53 guys that made it in the NFL, something I never did.
Here's another one for you, though. I was actually really impressed with that Colts rookie quarterback the last game.
Riley Leonard. I think all of us are.
Where did that Jake come from?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame. That's where he came from.
Dude, I was like,
But Duke before that.
But he played in the national championship last year, and nobody was watching him. All he kept doing is getting better as the season went on.
That's why I'm at the point that I don't know if the Colts give Daniel Jones this big contract. You have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal.
I wouldn't give Riley Leonard a year or two and see what happens.
Right, you can now, with that contract, you can build a team.
Gotta go make the pizza.
The other thing I have to say is this, and this is where it's a double-edged sword with me on that kid. Is that yeah, you came out there gunslinging. However, you lost to Houston's backups. Come on.
Right, but come on, guys. Let's not go there. The dude was thrown in there with barely a week preparation. It wasn't a game you were supposed to win anyway. He's a rookie with a week preparation. I'm not going to say, oh, he's bad because of one game. I'm not going to say he's good for one game. What I'm trying to say is, as an organization, am I looking at financially strapping my team with a quarterback who's coming off of a torn Achilles tendon and a broken femur, who wants a 4-year, $180 million contract, or am I going to build around a rookie quarterback that I think can help us win, and I'll have the money to put pieces around him?
I just looked over there.
I think it's hard.
Well, no, I wouldn't think it would be under the bed.
We've seen Riley Leonard do good in one game. And the first game he played, he was okay, I guess. But I think, putting all your eggs into one basket, I get it, he's a rookie. But you got to see something in the offseason that just really makes you, we're going to do it, because that is what makes the most sense.
Yeah, I can agree with that. He really impressed me though. He was like I was very impressed with his playing in the first half and in the second half. Like He was slinging it. He was slinging out there. And
Also, you guys got to remember, Jonathan Taylor had not been running the same at the end of the year, right? Because of everything going on with that team. So you throw him in the last game of the year. You barely get 3 days to prepare for to being a starter. You're playing with guys you have not played with. You're practicing it with guys you haven't practiced with. But he did show you some things that you've got to sit back as an organization, as a head coach and an owner, and go, do I want to financially strap my team, or do I want to see what this rookie can do? You got to remember, I don't have a first-round pick this year. I don't have a first-round pick next year. So that gives me 2 years of a rookie quarterback that I could bring other pieces in to see if he's the guy. And in those 2 years, if he's not, I get a first-round draft pick after that.
And a financial mindset, that's probably the most logical and best way to go.
Now, he has gotten reps with this team before. The first team in a game, and it was against the Jags, and I think he went like 61% completion with like 130 something yards and a pick. And in this game, I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, it's such a big question mark, and I understand it, but I don't know.
The major deciding factor should be, do I want to give a quarterback coming off of an Achilles injury? Let's look at Kirk Cousins, 4-year, 180 Atlanta, coming off of a torn Achilles. Do I want to do that to my team as the Colts? Do I want to give a quarterback coming off of a torn Achilles tendon and a broken femur on the other leg a 4-year, $180 million deal?
Daniel Jones didn't even do anything special. Like, he went out there and
Sam Darnold.
He went out there and protected the ball.
Now, I do got a question about that, because you mentioned Sam Darnold. Now,
it was JT.
Can we legitimately put Sam Darnold in the talks at MVP?
No.
Hell no.
He's thrown 20 INTs. No.
No. In my opinion, it better go to Matthew Stafford.
It's going to Matthew Stafford.
And then Trevor Lawrence, bro. Trevor Lawrence had
wait. I said it got to go to Drake May.
Drake, no. It should not go to Drake May, and I'm going to explain why.
Wait. But the way that Matthew Stafford played down the stretch, Armchair, no. I would put Drake May over Matthew Stafford. That's me.
I wouldn't, because of the way Drake May played down the stretch.
Week 17 and 18 decided a full season award. Like, we watched Matthew Stafford break a record going, I think, 3 weeks in a row, throwing 3+ touchdowns and no interceptions. No other quarterback has ever done that.
I hear you on. First of all, the award is a fluff award anyway. And it's the what have you done? It's not the MVP award.
They'll never give it to a defensive player, Denver Dev. I'm sorry, they just won't.
Yeah, they won't give it to Myles Garrett, and they won't give it to CMC, even though
they'll give it if Garrett gets anything, they'll give him Defensive Player of the Year award.
I know you didn't just say CMC deserved it this year, averaging 2 yards.
I'm not okay. You're looking at this. You're looking at it through a small lens. You got to look at it. Almost 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing for a quarterback. And how many touchdowns did he have?
Are you talking about this year? Or are you talking about?
It doesn't matter how much money Drake May made Vegas. Let me explain. How many games did Drake May throw for over 300 yards this year? How many? One. How many teams did he beat over 500 this year?
One. Oh, but you yourself said that shouldn't matter. You yourself said that.
No, this is what is supposed to go into the award. We all know it's a popularity contest. We all know that. But if we're actually talking about true achievements in the NFL, number one, Matthew Stafford came in when nobody thought he was going to play because of his back. Number two, Matthew Stafford threw for how many touchdowns? How many yards?
46.
Look at the teams that Matthew Stafford went up against. Look at the defenses Matthew Stafford went up against. And again, this is what it should count as, and we all know it doesn't, which is sad. It should count,
Well, not
but
only
it
that,
does not.
but
Because
also
we
have
could say
to-
the same thing about last year. Was Josh Allen really the MVP last year?
No.
It could have gone. It should have gone to Saquon Barkley, to be honest.
Exactly.
That's where it
But
should
if I'll tell you this, if Drake May gets anything this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Drake May doesn't get Offensive Player of the Year award.
Or I'll tell you another guy. Can I say this? I'll tell you another guy that should have been in MVP talks last year that nobody talked about being in there was Fred Warner. Fred Warner numbers, they should have put him in the MVP talks.
But they're not going to give a Defensive Player the MVP. We know.
That's why, and that's why they need to change the name to Best Quarterback, not MVP. Because that's
Quarterback.
That's not what it
Bobby
is.
Wagner's been putting up Fred Warner numbers for 14 years.
Also, could you argue that age